Player 2 has joined the game.
Hey, yo, what's up, everybody? Welcome to another two-player co-op quick hits edition. As always, I'm one of your hosts here, Kevin, along with my brother from my mother, Sean.
Hello.
Hello. How are you doing today?
Good. How are you?
Good. We finally played a game that I've heard from everybody I needed to play, and that is Journey. First came out on the PS3. It's one of the PS4.
Stop.
Believing. Bad?
Bad. Not good.
Hold on to.
Getting worse.
It's PS Plus, free game this month. We finally played it. We want to give our thoughts, do a kind of review. 3 years late, but whatever. Right off the top, Sean. Journey. What do you think?
The atmosphere really got me. I know we talked about it a little bit, I think, on last week's podcast. Just it's the art style is beautiful.
Yes.
I love just I guess really just the atmosphere. You're just, for the most part, pretty isolated, and you're just this nameless creature. This is one of those games that doesn't really have much of a story. You almost just kind of make it up yourself. It is whatever you want it to be.
Yep.
But you're just this nameless creature in the middle of the desert, and I don't know what it is, but there's something about seeing that mountain in the distance.
Your destination.
In the distance. Yeah, and it's just, but it's not the destination.
It's not. It's the journey. And I'm not trying
but
to
no,
be...
no, but yeah. And I'm trying to think of what that makes me think of, but
life.
But no, I think something
I know.
else
I'm just
in
being stupid.
in video game terms. I don't know. There's something about seeing okay, that's where I need to be. I don't know. It was just so well done, and not to knock on, even though they're totally unrelated, but first thing that popped into my head is Last of Us. When you're going through the city, and you're like, oh, I got to get to that building right there, and you come out of a building. Oh, hey, there it is. I'm a little bit closer now. And then you go through here and, oh, look at it. It's right there. I'm getting closer. Okay. But there's something about this. I don't know if it's just the sheer magnitude of it, is you're going to this mountain that is God knows how far off in the distance. I don't know what it is, but if it was just you're in a desert and you don't see that mountain peak until you're there, something as little as just showing it in the background the entire game, I think, just really made the game.
The game is beautiful. It is so serene, I think is the right word. At the beginning, it's just you're starting your journey, and everything is beautiful, and you don't really know how everything or anything works in the world,
Right.
You have to figure out X kind of makes you fly / jump, but not all the time. And circle makes you do you send out your sonar pulse thing.
We should probably say,
there
spoilers. Will be spoilers.
I mean, obviously 3-year-old game.
It's a quick game. It's free right now if you have PlayStation.
God, please play.
If you haven't played it, stop listening now. Just go download it, beat it, come back in a few hours. It's totally worth it. Do not let us spoil it for you, but continue.
As I'm playing through this game, there's no dialogue at all.
Yep.
This game is so emotional, and there's a lot of stuff going on personally right now that I think I played this at the right time. But all I've heard from this game, Gone Home is what comes to mind when I played this game. Not because of how the game is or anything like that, although you could say it's a walking simulator, but it's third person.
Yeah.
Gone Home was so hyped up. There's this one of the best games ever made, and I just thought it was a 4 or 5 out of 10. This game has been so hyped up and everything. And to me, it lived up to it. I think it's because so much of this game is what you take out of that journey and all the different layers that are in there. This isn't just there's a set story, beginning and end. This is the narrative, and this is the way it goes. You start out in this beautiful desert. You don't know anything except it goes to the title screen. It says start a new journey. You hit X and you go. and you don't know anything about the world, but you see all these, you've got a scarf, and I knew scarves were some part of this, and you see these little scarves, and you go over there and you get them, and your scarf gets longer. Then you get to the part where you're building the bridge, and I think that might be the first part where you can let the scarves go free, where they were trapped, or maybe it was the place after that.
It's the second area.
I think
it's where you do that, where you build the bridge.
Where you build the bridge. I got emotional in this stupid game just letting these scarves free from their, like, they were behind these cages, or they were like a cage came down, like a fence came down on top of them or something, and you had to let them free, and they're like, they're free and they're happy and all this. I'm like, a game so abstract, if it can actually give you emotions, it's a hell of a game. I feel like I'm just rambling right now, but this is like, I don't know really how to interpret this game. Obviously, it's called Journey for a reason.
Right.
Let me just read this, because after I beat the game and I kind of had tears welling up in my eyes, I was like, I want to read. I want to figure out. I know what I think about this, but I got to try to find a way to put this into words. And I found this post on a forum like years ago. The beginning levels where you're learning how to fly is akin to learning how to walk. Then you also learn how to talk, and you meet friends. Sometimes you lose them. I can say the level where you're happily sliding down the hills are akin to a person's youth, concerned with nothing but play and joy as life passes by quickly. The chapter with the giant snakes resembles the most terrifying or tragic moments of one's life. The moment being completely unexpected and out of nowhere, hitting you like a sack of bricks. The elevator to level to me, where you're going around, you got the big pillar in the middle where you're lighting it up as you go up and everything. Towards the end of the game. Resembles one's true golden years, the lighting of this level being golden, not a coincidence in his opinion. You accomplish so much, have so much at your disposal, you move up so quickly, you've learned all you need to learn, and now it's your time to spread your wings and make what you can of the world and of your life. And then you enter the longest, slowest chapters where you slowly decay, where you fly less and less, you move slower, everything's harder to do, then you can barely walk. The world is trying to stop you, but you have to push so hard to continue forward. Every step becomes a chore. Then there's no more flying at all. Only your companion, if you're lucky, to keep you barely warm. And then you die, an awful, miserable feeling. Only to be contrasted with a sudden burst of energy. And oh my God, when this happened in the game, I was like, this is amazing. Only to be contrasted with a sudden burst of energy and pure bliss that is the final ascent. You're filled with more life and more power than you've ever experienced, and the world is a bright marvel, something you could have never ever dreamed of. You move like lightning, and your strength is limitless. There's nothing you can't accomplish, and you finally reach the light that you wanted all your life, but only in death could you achieve. Then you get to the end, and of course you're sent. Then you realize it's still the end of your journey, and you're sent back. This game is so deep. If you're a religious person, or if you whatever, I think there's something in this for anybody that believes there's something else out there. I'm Christian. I'll just say it. I hope you don't hate that. Sorry if you do. But to me, like that, this dude on this forum post on Giant Bomb. Hold on, let me look up what his name is, because I want to give this guy shout out, because he put Duffy Side. Okay. Duffy Side, thank you. You put everything into words that I was feeling, and I couldn't really figure out how to put like pen to paper and actually make notes about this game. I didn't make any notes. I think he just summed it up perfectly. Like, this game, without having any dialogue or any real communication, is so emotional. But you know exactly what the Traveler is what he's called, right? I think it's the Traveler is going through. And everything in this game, it was so fun, and you're growing up and you're learning things, and you're figuring out how to play the game and all this other stuff. And then when you get about to that midway point where, like they said, the block snake or the friggin' megalodon of blocks or whatever underwater is, you're walking through, and all of a sudden this thing comes up, and all of a sudden you're like, to me that was almost like you graduate from college, or if you didn't get to college, whatever it is, you go out on your own and you are in the real world on your own for the first time, and real life comes at you.
Life punches you in the face.
And it will punch you in the face and punch you in the face, more times than you can ever imagine. And if you're somebody young listening to this, just know it's okay. You will get through it. It gets better. But life will beat you down. But you can get through it. And if you've got somebody by your side, if you've got a companion going on this journey with you, like I told Sean after, like, he beat it before I did, and I was playing through it, and I was like, yeah, I was going through this part and I was following this, the AI was kind of leading me around. He's like, duh, that's not an AI. I'm like, wait, what? And all of a sudden, this game that I was already really loving took on a whole different meaning for me. Again, I don't know how you avoid spoilers for like 4 or 5 years in a game like this, but I did. I thought that was an AI guide for me. Yeah. I didn't realize that was another person that I'm taking my journey with, and we're both figuring out this world together. Like, you actually figure out the real world together and how to get through it and everything, and you get through it together. If you're lucky, you get through it with somebody. That was so cool to me. And I didn't know there was any enemies or conflict in this game. I thought I was just going to walk and it was just going to be narrative and there was nothing. When I got to that first bit of conflict, like you will get, if you're young and you're listening to this, you will get to conflict in your life. But I persevered, and me and my companion, we persevered through that. We figured out how to get through it. There was this scary thing just hovering over us everywhere you went. It was looking for you, and it had a spotlight, and it's like, if I get a chance, I'm going to break you down, I'm going to kill you. But you figure out how to get through it together. And it was just so cool when I got to the end of that stage where you get to like the slide and you're going through it, and there's like 2 or 3 snakes in your slide and they can't get you, and then you get through the light and you get through that stage. That was the first time that hit me that I was like, this game, I get it now. This game is great. And that was before I even did the snow walk and all that. But
right.
I feel like a Brandon. What are your thoughts on the game, first half of the game, whatever, before we get to the end of it and the final ascent and everything?
I think the fact that you can play this with another player, but you can't really communicate. You don't see their gamer tag.
All you can do is
it's just another person. I just think that's so cool, and I can't say that it's never been done before. It probably has, but maybe it hasn't. I don't know. But I just think that was such a cool element to the game. And there are other games, I guess, where if you're playing with somebody, you're tempted to just maybe, I don't know, mess around with them or screw them over. But something about this game, it's like you want them to succeed, and you feel obligated as much as possible to help them. And you can do your little circle button and it does a little boom, and then that allows them to like jump and fly a little bit. And I was constantly doing that for them, and they do it for me.
If you're close to each other, you both light
you
up
get
and
to
stuff.
Yeah. And it's just such a cool experience. You're helping each other out. And so like you, I had no idea that there was ever any, I didn't know there was ever going to be like an enemy in this game. I figured it's just walk until you get to the end and then something will happen and game over. So when I saw the snake creature thing, I was like, oh, like that, it definitely caught me off guard, and he got me. He got me good.
Yeah, he killed me the first time. I stopped and said, I'll go back and try it again.
But yeah, I made it through, and I didn't get to play it through. I mean, I didn't play it through in one sitting, so I didn't get to play it through with just one companion. Right. But we'll start getting towards the end now. Towards the end, and you see the snake creature again. I actually got through that part without getting hit.
Mm-hmm. I got hit,
but I remember looking back and seeing my buddy get taken out by the thing, and I was legitimately like, "No,
how do I do? What?
Like,
how can
I felt helpless." Yeah. But it's just such a weird how this game with no, I don't want to say has no story, but no in your face discrete story. There's a story there, but it's up to you to make of it what you will. But just how it makes you feel this, like, why was I so upset that my companion person got taken out by that snake at the end? I don't know. But it was such a cool, I've just never really experienced anything like that in a game before. And then, yeah, as you're getting towards the end, and it took a while for me to even really know. It was almost so gradual that I think it took a while for me to actually notice that I was slowing down and that my scarf blinky stuff was fading and that I couldn't jump as much. And all of a sudden I'm like, oh God, I'm moving real slow now. And then, yeah, you're climbing up and up and up, and it never seems to end, to the point where you're just slowly just barely moving anymore, just a step every like few seconds, and then you just
But you press forward. Yep.
So my one complaint, and in terms of storytelling, I think the game was perfect. In terms of a video game, what I was almost expecting to happen, not necessarily hoping, but kind of thought would happen, is that was it. Yeah. And that would be different. There's nothing you can do about it. You die at the end of the game, and that's it. It's not that you did anything wrong. It's not because the snake got me a while ago that's what caused me to die. You just die. It's as depressing it is part of the journey.
Yep.
The journey. And then, yeah, he comes back to life or whatever. We'll get to that in a little bit. And that was cool for storytelling and all. But part of me almost wished... I mean, I was sad when he just collapsed, and I was ecstatic when he came back. But I don't know. I almost, in a weird way, almost wish that would have just been it. I think that would have been depressing, obviously, but that would have been
more powerful.
Cool. Yeah, just in a game that, in every sense of the word, is just different from anything else out there. I think that would have put it over the top. Again, I'm nitpicking. I think the game in general was fantastic, but that would have been a cool, not exclamation point, but a cool period, I guess, to it.
It seems like when I was researching this, that a lot of people are split. Do they like the afterlife, the heaven, whatever you believe in? Or do you think it should have just ended with a death and you move on from there? I thought it was done. Like, even you're going up the mountain, you die, and then the white robed angels or whatever they are, they come around you, and it's just like, it's depressing, but it's also what I imagine death is. Like, it was also very peaceful. It was like,
yeah,
I've gone on this journey. I gave it my all. I did everything I could. And this is the end of my journey, and I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
But then, like, the Duffy's side was saying, you get this like second wind, and you're in heaven or whatever it is, and then you even, am I crazy, or did I see the evil snakes were in heaven also?
Maybe.
Flying around and being happy and everything.
It's possible.
I think
don't remember
did,
that,
but like, I didn't know after you made it to heaven or whatever it is. I was like, well, now I wonder how the game's going to end. And it's so cool. Like, you were just, you're flying your scarf. If you notice, your scarf was as long as it could be, which mine never got that long. My companions did at one point. And I was like, well, how did he get more life than me? This sucks. But you're flying around. Everything is just great. And it was just so, like, kind of what I picture it is when you get to heaven, if you believe in that or whatever you believe in. It's just like I think of even my dumb dog Jack. Like, Jack was really sick and his kidneys shut down and he could barely stand at the end when we had to put him down and everything. But it's like Noah last week, when we went to look at your house, we were leaving there, and for some reason all of a sudden he's just like, Dad, I miss Jack. And I'm like, I know I miss him every day, but it's been like a year and a half since we had to put our dog down. I'm like, I miss him too, and he's like, I wish I would have gone to the vet with you. It's like, no, I don't know. Like, you got to say goodbye, and he just started crying. And I started telling him everything that this game, before I had played to this part in the game, was like, Jack's okay. Like, he's not sick anymore.
Right.
He's not in pain. He's not dying. And it's not that he can't eat anymore. Like, no, he's running around. He's happy. He's in heaven. He's in doggy heaven, the Rainbow Bridge. Whatever you believe in, I believe he's in heaven waiting for me, but that's up to me. I'm not trying to put anything on anybody, but like, or any family members or friends you've lost. Both you and I have gone through a lot. Like, we've lost some of our best friends way, way, way too early. No one should have to go through that, and no family should have to go through that. But I believe they're okay now. And all that, like, and even like Graham and Gramp and Uncle Bob and people that lived long lives and everything, like, all these emotions hit me. Like, it was almost, the emotions hit me more, not in the dying at the end of the journey, but when you got that second burst and you were in heaven or whatever it was, that you were free, you weren't sick anymore. There was nothing encumbering you anymore, and you were just at your full potential, and you were flying through, and everything was great, and it was just bright sunshine and all this stuff and everything. And that's what hit me more than anything, was just like all these people I've lost and where they're at now, and we're still here and all this other stuff. It's just, I'm kind of rambling and stuff, but that's when it really hit me, to where I've gone back and forth, and now I do like that they gave you that second ending. And of course, the way it ends, if you believe in reincarnation or anything like that, it's basically how this game ends, is that you get to the end of your journey, you die, you go to heaven or whatever you call it, and then you get to the end of that and everything slows down again. That's when it really got depressing, and I was like, okay. Like, the first one wasn't bad enough. Now we're like dying again.
Right.
And then you start anew. But whether you believe in reincarnation or whatever you believe in, I think it was, but it's, like you said, the best Disney movie ever is Lion King.
Oh, yeah.
And it's the circle of life. And whether it's that, whether you think your traveler is starting his journey again, or it's just another traveler starting their journey through the journey of life, I think it's just as powerful. Like, I think it's so cool that they didn't really try to push anything on the player either way. They left it completely up to interpretation, whether you're religious, not religious, whether whatever your religion is, it is all up for you to take what you want from this game.
Yeah,
I think it's just fantastic.
I think anybody, no matter what you believe in, can draw some kind of parallels with either directly with their life or with whatever it is that they believe in. I feel like anybody can get something meaningful as you can have in a video game, but you can take something away from this game. So, but yeah, I know we've already told you to stop listening, but if anybody's still listening that hasn't played this game, pretend you didn't hear any of that. Go play this game. It's better to play this game knowing what's going to happen than to never have played it at all.
Yeah, even if you know the end of the journey, which, I mean, it's talking about this game is just talking about metaphors for life. Like, plus
the two of us knew that from, I think, Colin mainly, from everybody in general, that it was emotional at the end.
And Greg cries at everything, but even Colin was like, he turned off the game and he just cried.
Right. So we all kind of knew. We knew it was going to be emotional. We knew what was going to happen. And it took nothing away from it.
Yep.
Granted, it wasn't fully spoiled for us, but you kind of get, as you play the game, you know what's happening.
Right.
Even if you ignored our advice to turn this off and you're still listening and you haven't played the game, do yourself a favor. It's free. Even if it wasn't free, it's worth it. Get the game, play through it. You can beat it in as little as 2 hours. I beat it in probably around 2 hours. I plan on going through it again and exploring a little more, taking a little more time.
Yeah.
Absolutely worth it. Do yourself a favor and check it out.
Yeah, this is the complete opposite of how I felt after I played the last most hyped up game, and that was Gone Home. That I just didn't. I thought it was a huge disappointment. This was not at all. This was great. I really loved everything about this game. Makes me want to go play Flower because that game company made Flower also. That's really short. I think that's like an hour or less, and I don't think you have the same. It doesn't have the same weight to it that this game does.
Right.
But yeah, if you're for some reason, like Sean said, if you're watching this and you haven't played this game yet, go play it. Even knowing, like I said, and like Sean said, even knowing the end of the journey, it's okay. The game is still worth playing. Fantastic game, beautiful. If you own a PlayStation 4 or 3, this game is free now. Get this game, download it, play it, and be affected by it like all of us had. Whew.
Heavy.
Yeah. Thanks, everybody. This has been our Journey Quick Hits review discussion. Let us know in the comments below if you played Journey in the past. Did you play it 4 or 5 years ago when this first came out? Have you gone back to play it ever? That's another thing I wonder. Like, I can't imagine I'd ever play this game again. Not because it doesn't deserve it, but it's just like so emotional. Like you said, going back and exploring more.
Cathartic.
Yeah.
In every sense of the word, it is very cathartic.
Yep.
So, yeah.
I don't know that I'll go back and play it. I'll probably take some time off from it before I go back.
This may be another one that maybe I have Brittany play. Like
Yeah, you
Firewatch,
can
and
watch
just, rather than
somebody
playing
play
through it
it.
again, I'll just
Right. You can
Maybe
watch
that's the way
somebody
to
play
do
it
it.
and still get the same effect.
yeah.
So
That's probably what I'll do.
play Journey, please. Fantastic game. Thanks everybody for watching. And if you like this video, of course, the old spiel, hit the like button here, subscribe over there if you could. Check out all our other videos and quick hits that we do on this lovely channel we call the Two Player Co-op. That's it for this time. Sean, go ahead and take us out.
Thank you for playing.
Thank you.